As one year ends and another begins, we take a moment to reflect on the past and set our sights on the future. Resolutions, those promises we make to ourselves, offer a chance to start fresh. But what do they reveal about who we are, the challenges we face, and the dreams we hold? In this documentary, we will explore these questions through the lives of our participants, uncovering the stories behind their resolutions and the journey they embark on to fulfill them. For some, resolutions are a tradition, a moment to declare their hopes and dreams for the year ahead. What are these promises they have made to themselves?
I haven't particularly done any official resolution. You know that thing where you start and then you just have an idea of what you want to do. It's in your mind. You don't put it on paper or try to make it official. So basically going with the flow, nothing, on paper, nothing serious. It's just the year starts and then you're going with the flow.
Some of my New Year resolutions I made in the past. As at this level and this age, I should have been married with 2 kids by now. I should have a very stable business running. And then I should be able to start an NGO so that I can be able to help the less privileged and then people who genuinely need help in the society. So those were some of the things that I set to do.
We started this business from home. Yes, I did that for some years. So my year's resolutions were to get a space, move into it to be able to serve people at a wider range, not to just limit ourselves to the house and then going around and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, so this year especially, I actually had plans on expanding my business. Yeah, and also being more creative in almost every aspect of life.
Okay, for New Year resolutions, I haven't been setting some for a long while now. Yeah, because I realized that setting them puts pressure on me. Like, Charlie, you have set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals. You have to make sure to achieve them. So it makes like living throughout the year wasn't enjoyable. So I resolved that, if you can also call that a resolution, fine. So I resolved that I'm not going to make any resolution. Though I had my long-term plans in mind, I'm not going to make any resolutions. However, I'm going to live one day at a time.
Well, in the past, I had a few of that. The first one was to buy a land, build a house, buy a car, and yes, enlarge my business.
Entering like this particular year, I resolved not to have any resolution specifically. However, I had some plans that I was looking forward to the Lord to play out in my life. So unlike going to church on 31st night and go before the Lord and like everyone will do every 31st night like we are anticipating this year, I didn't go to say a word of prayer to make a list of items that I was trusting God to do in my life in this year. However, there were a few things. One of the things was that I was looking forward to be a better version of myself in line with my ministry, personality, and the way I relate with people in my community. And I can say that all these 3 things, yes, I've seen great strides come. But one of the things, interestingly, was that I was looking forward to get married, but I must say that things played well from the beginning of the year. However, at a point, there was a twist, an event.
My resolution for this year as a student was to learn hard, to be able to fill in the spaces that I missed out. Last year, academic year wasn't really good for me because I wasn't really going to school. I traveled outside the country, so I was missing out a lot.
Not everyone chooses to make resolutions. For some, it's a conscious choice. For others, it's simply not a priority. What drives these decisions?
I would say partially, because there are some things that at the back of my mind I hope to achieve at the end of the year. But if I look back, it didn't play out exactly how I wanted it. Most of those things sort of fell on other people to make it happen, as opposed to me making it happen from my end. You get it? So if I had something, I'm sure that maybe I would have pushed myself harder. Sometimes you get lost in the pressure, you get lost in what you're doing, that you lose track of what you have just put in your mind casually to do. But I mean, if I had something, I would have fallen back to it and then watched to be sure whether or not I'm on track. But because I didn't have anything, I got lost, and I mean, the year has ended, and if I do a retrospection, I see that it's not exactly what I wished for, but all the same, I'm happy about it.
So some of the challenges would include, one, complacency. Yes, because when it comes to you not setting goals for yourself, even if it's in a period, maybe 3 months period, or even 6 months period, or even in a year, whatever thing you are doing, if you don't set goals for yourself, you become complacent. Yes, because you feel like you are okay with your life. Yes, there is no need for any kind of progress, or you are not able to measure the progress that you have, or any progress at all in your life. Yes, so complacency.
The road to success is rarely smooth. What challenges stood in the way of their resolutions?
I went through financial stress. I went into a couple of businesses, 1 or 2, and they didn't go as planned. So it broke me, not only physically, but I mean, mentally and emotionally too as well. So I was down. Yes, I was down for a couple of months.
The way people thought about the thing. Yeah. The way people thought about it, how I expected people to embrace it. They didn't embrace it that way. So I held back a little, but I still went on with other ones.
I think that mostly it is the minor things which do also bring you something, but what could bring you that set of goal? It needs time, it needs all the focus, but interestingly, all the small other things seem to be taking all the attention, and one day becomes 1 week, 1 week becomes 1 month, and it goes on and on like that. So those things, though, like I said, they bring something, but the focus, if the focus was on the bigger goal, it would have been that I would have focused more on that and then put in all the effort into ensuring that I meet that goal.
So with the ones I wasn't able to achieve, I think it's because I didn't put in much effort. Like, I didn't pay much attention to it, because maybe I thought that in my mind I've been able to accomplish it. So I was very relaxed on it, and I just watched the time pass by and I couldn't do anything about it.
And interestingly, I think one of the biggest obstacle known to me, there are several forces that play in when it comes to achieving resolutions. There are both physical forces, there are spiritual forces, but that which is known to me is the physical one. That's what the Lord will permit me to know. So the physical one, I think myself, I had so much or too much expectations for people. And at a point, I tied a lot of these things that I wanted to do to people, making sure that, okay, this person will play a key role. And one time a friend asked me, who is the most important person in your life? And I was thinking like about 2 minutes, and he told me, George, this is not something you should be thinking about too much. You should be the most important person in your life. And it was like a wake-up call to me.
Finances, because
the way I wanted the money to come, it was not coming that way. So I realized there is time for everything. So when the time is due, I would achieve that particular thing.
If I may put it this way, trying to please everyone, like trying to help everyone out. I mean, that has been one of my my greatest setbacks. You see, personally, this year I had some things in mind to do. I had some poems to write, some like artworks to do, some applications to submit. However, people's work like took much of my time, and I haven't been able to do much of what I set out to do. So I think trying to be a Superman like didn't help me. Yeah. So I am trying to be should I say Robin? Yeah. So I'm trying to be less of a Superman. Yeah.
When we dream, do we dream too big? Or do we underestimate what we are capable of? How realistic were their resolutions?
Looking back, the resolutions, I would say they were not too realistic. Let's say they were kind of 50-50. Yeah, that is, if I should get a chance, it could happen. That's when I get the time and chance come, it can happen. So it was not too realistic, but it was something that I was hoping for. Yeah.
Not all of them, but I think most of them were realistic, though they didn't play out the way I'd wanted them to play. Like I mentioned, there are several factors that play in. So, but in a whole, I think most of the resolutions that I didn't really list out were realistic because I committed them for the Lord's way to be done.
Some were way too much for human imaginations, but I just believe when you take it one by one, why not? The better.
Every resolution carries a weight of hope and expectation. Success can build confidence, while failure can leave lasting marks. How were their self-worth and confidence affected?
Well, yes, I feel proud of what we've achieved so far because looking back with all that we had and all that, then we still stood firm throughout this process. When people walk in, they feel proud buying from us too. Yeah, feel comfortable.
On the point of where I was looking forward to get married, I think it at a point made me feel I wasn't good enough for the world. But by God's grace, I had a few people who came in to be more of like a shoulder for me to lean on. So their encouraging words helped me a lot. So from then, I think I came to have a better appreciation of who I am, a better appreciation of who I am. And I think that really helped me. And the few successes that I chalked, I think also gave me that confidence that I could do anything that I want to do if I would depend on God. Yes, mainly.
I mean, if we use the Bible as an example, okay, when you act out of faith, you believe God for something and then it happens. What happens next? Your belief in God skyrockets, it goes to another level. And so if you, as an individual, have set out to do something and then it comes to pass, it makes you want to set a higher goal and then to push further. When that happens, then you're able to set even higher goals. So, I mean, the more what you plan to do comes to pass, you're able to bring it to reality, the more it makes you want to do more. And I think that's one attitude the rich have, which is why the rich keep getting rich. And those who become successful keep getting successful because the success pushes them. On the other hand, when it doesn't happen, it reduces your confidence. It makes you want to just give up because you feel like you just can't do it. Exactly.
With the ones I wasn't able to achieve, I wouldn't say it really affected my self-confidence. If it affected my self-confidence because maybe I was comparing myself to others, but then to me, I felt it's normal. I mean, I could do better. The ones I was able to achieve, I mean, I'm very, very glad, and I give thanks to God that I was able to achieve.
Are resolutions still relevant in a world that values continuous growth? Or are they an outdated tradition?
You know, every year you'd have to reset yourself and head towards a direction. So resolutions are very important as it serves as a guide. It serves as a guide. It serves also as a reminder for us. When we read the Bible, I think it mentioned that we should write down the vision, and then with that we can run along with. So when we make resolutions, they serve as a guide, it serves as a reminder, and also helps us focus on a particular goal, and also helps us channel our energies to achieving these goals.
It helps you know the aim, what you are planning on achieving, because as a human, you have to get a goal, and that's the purpose.
Resolutions they are more like your guiding lights. They give you a direction, a sense of direction. And once you are going somewhere and you ask for directions, like you were coming here, you needed directions to this place. And so you had to ask me for direction. And it helped you get here, as opposed to you trying to find your way around yourself. It would have taken you forever. So yes, so resolutions actually help you, give you a sense of direction, where you're going. And if you are going off track, since you have something that's guiding you, is able to draw your attention to the fact that you are going off. So indeed, its importance cannot be overemphasized.
It's just like doing a to-do list. When you don't list the things you want to do, you tend to forget about some of them. You get home and realize, oh, I had to do this, and it was quite important.
With a new year on the horizon, will they try again? Or will they embrace a different path forward?
I wouldn't list out resolutions, but I would just trust my heart to be in tune with the will of God.
I won't change, as I said. I always want to add up new things. I don't like boring spaces. I like to challenge myself, add up.
I have not planned to do that because of what I said earlier. I haven't been doing that because it's one discipline which I lack. And so I need help. I mean, if I could be helped, if I could get somebody who would push me, who would get me to do it, I'll be glad. But as it stands, I haven't planned that in 2025 I'm going to set these set of goals. Okay, I haven't done that.
I plan on making new resolutions this year. Not actually new, but it is just, let me say, it is something I couldn't do that I'm still holding on to as the year moves on to. I don't know how to best put it. It's not a new resolution. It's something I couldn't do this year. So I'm looking forward to doing it in the coming year. So that will be the resolution.
And the new resolutions would actually be the ones I haven't been able to achieve this year.
I've not planned on making new resolutions, but I want to push the old resolutions that I set. And I must make sure I start it no matter what or regardless of any obstacles that come my way.
I think for now, it's something that I've given a thought. So let's see as the year goes by. Because it's never too late to make a resolution. Even if it's 3 months into the year, you can still make a resolution and then still achieve that resolution.
For those struggling to keep their resolutions, hope is not lost. What advice can help them move forward?
Yes, we all have plans, but first of all, commit your ways into the hands of the Lord. As Proverbs chapter 16 verse 3 tells us that we should commit our ways to the Lord. And then secondly, there is so much power in you to do whatever you want to do, because the Bible tells us that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And then finally, in James chapter 1, verse 5, the Bible also admonishes that if anyone lacks wisdom, we should call upon God who gives us liberally. So your resolutions cannot be achieved outside the God factor. So in as much as we put in efforts to making sure that they are achieved, but we also make sure that we bring in the God factor.
I think that, like we've said, the importance of it cannot be overemphasized. And so once you admit that it is important, you need to take the extra step to getting somebody who would be on your neck, so to speak, to push you in that direction, to make sure that you do it. You know, sometimes, yes, it's not as though you are not disciplined, but sometimes you just need that external push. And it looks like that's what most people need. Yes, so that's basically it.
I would say two things. One is that life is all about time, and then the other one is about chance. So with the right time, and then when a chance comes, things will work out. So the person shouldn't be too hard on himself.
It's not easy anywhere. You just have to stand up in whatever you want to do, whatever idea you have. Don't procrastinate it. Don't be like, okay, no. When the idea comes, just hit on it, start on it. Don't wait for anything. And I just believe that we are our capital. It's not necessarily money. We ourselves are capitals. Whatever talent, whatever skill we have is our capital. You can start with it and you'll do well.
You should just live one day at a time. Just don't give yourself pressure. Like, you see your friends marrying, you see your friends buying cars, you see your friends attending schools. Don't give yourself pressure. Just do what you can do and then leave the rest to God. Just make sure that you are not lazy. Like, just make sure that you are doing something. You are trying to achieve something. But don't give yourself pressure. Try to sleep. Try to take good care of your health, because at the end of the day, we try to achieve all the resolutions, and we end up undermining our health. And if you don't have good health, Charlie, all what you have achieved, I don't think you can enjoy it.
So the advice I'll give to someone who keeps struggling with their resolution is they should be determined and be more dependent on God, because if you are dependent on human beings or maybe some other things and that thing is no more there, what would you do? So pray about it and put in much effort. You can't just be praying about it and be there doing nothing. So as you are praying about it, then you are putting in your more personal efforts.
Resolutions are rarely made in isolation. Family, friends, and society all play a role. How much influence do they have?
You could think through the fact that it could be the case to some extent, because if you live among a certain set of friends who have achieved certain levels in life and you haven't got there at all, it is natural that it will influence you to want to set a certain set of goals which will help you get there. Okay,
the resolutions I set for this year, most are influenced by my family and my peers, because they are making it and it is nice. So my resolution is to be able to also work hard, study hard, and also achieve more than what they've been able to achieve.
You know, definitely growing up, you read stories and then you learn a couple of two. But definitely some of your friends will share with you some of the things they seek to do and some of the challenges they've come out from and some of the help they've gotten from other people. And so definitely growing up, hearing some of these things, definitely you also be like, why can't you also come out with something so that you can also be someone in someone's story? When the person grows up, the person can also make reference. Yes.
Sometimes they feel like you should, why are you rushing? Where are you going to? Take your time. But you know where you want to go. You know how big you want to, how far you want to go, So you don't let that get to you. Except someone mediocrity in mind that would take their advice and feel like, oh, you've already gotten to where you have to be, you are okay. But when you think out of the box, you know that there are greater things you can achieve yourself.
I remember there are times people tell you that, George, I'm a twin. So there are times people tell you, George, your twin sister had been married for 5 years and you're still not married. I cannot dispute the fact that sometimes it plays to me. Like, oh boy, so I want to believe that it also played a role in the disappointment that I felt. Because like, I thought this year was going to be it. But so society plays a key role in shaping our resolutions and influencing us. But I think we can still find some stillness in the noise.
Every resolution, whether achieved or not, holds a lesson. What have they learned from their journey?
So much. One thing I've learned is that I need not to put all my eggs in one basket. That is to say that I need not to totally depend on man to achieving the things in my life. And two, I need to connect more with people as well. So it may look contradictory, but I need not to commit all my efforts to getting the approval of man. And then two, however, I should be open to getting assistance from people.
Well, number one, I have to check my spending. That's the number one thing I have to do. Because if I see everything I buy, if I see everything that I buy, I wouldn't be able to achieve or push that resolution. So yes, but it's just one. I have to save money towards that resolution.
Sometimes too, you have to let somebody else know what you have written and have said to do, so that when you are going off, that person becomes your guide. You don't keep it to yourself. So you become accountable to just yourself and nobody else. Once you let somebody else know, you become responsible and accountable, and the person will keep you on your toes.
In terms of the finances, I need to put down certain plans to be able to be financially stable. The businesses that didn't go well, I've learned a couple of two lessons from it and how to reassess the whole thing and then start again, but this time with new ideas and then with new solutions. And then the relationship stress and then the issues too as well. I'm looking forward to being open, having an open communication where I can be able to mend any broken friendship, relationship, or any connection.
Mediocrity kills. That I always say. Always think big.
As we step into another year, resolutions remain more than mere promises. They are reflections of who we are and who we hope to become, whether we choose to set goals or let life unfold without them. Every step we take carries meaning. The journey matters more than perfection, so here's to growth, resilience, and the courage to embrace the unknown. What will your story be in 2025?